What's going on, family? Civ checking in, and welcome back to another Civ's Advanced Analysis NBA Edition video. A subsection here on the channel where I not only talk about the recent trades that happened in the NBA world, whether that be during the trade deadline or in the off-season, but also I give you all as fans a little taste as to what you can expect from the player as they join their respective clubs in the foreseeable future. And in today's video, everybody, we're heading over to San Antonio because the San Antonio Spurs recently made a big trade in the 2025 NBA trade. And that trade is picking up De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings. And honestly, everyone, I believe that this trade is actually a really interesting trade for them. Because while it doesn't really do much in the short term, it really could be a very interesting trade and something to look forward to in the foreseeable future, especially in the long run. So, without further ado, let's break down everything regarding De'Aaron Fox and how he can impact his new team being the San Antonio Spurs. So, without further ado, let's get started. Right off the bat, when we think of De'Aaron Fox, we think of his speed, and rightfully so, because that speed is what helped him be as successful as possible, I believe, especially during his time with the Sacramento Kings, because not only did it help him become one of the fastest point guards in the NBA, especially in this current NBA, but also I believe that his speed really helped him expand his game to other possibilities, whether that be improving a mid-range game, whether that be finding more opportunities to get and ones or being more aggressive to the paint. Either way, all of that stemmed from his speed, and it's really what helped the Sacramento Kings be as successful as they are in recent years. However, with all that being said, I also think that De'Aaron Fox's speed is actually a downside, because when he's in a full momentum speed, he kind of rushes his passes, especially during the clutch, and really makes some costly turnovers that really zap the momentum of the Sacramento Kings. And it really results in unfortunate situations for the Sacramento Kings, especially given the fact that they keep losing some games that they should have won. But hope is not lost for this individual, because by the San Antonio Spurs picking up him in this trade deadline, not only will he have the proper coaching by the Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich, among others, but also he also has Chris Paul as a veteran point guard who can teach him the ways to be more crafty with his game plans. And through that, I believe that not only will he be able to be more accurate in terms of his passes and his IQ knowledge, but also I believe that his defense will greatly improve as well, because through the different IQ knowledge, he'll know when to conserve his energy, especially on the defensive end, and with Victor Wembanyama also helping him on the defensive end as well as being a big threat on the offensive end, among other San Antonio players, De'Aaron Fox will be able to better understand the opportunities that are presented to him on the offensive end, defensive end, and ultimately it will help him better assess what type of situation or what plays he would need to do to ultimately help the San Antonio Spurs win more games, preferably in a blowout game rather in those close games. So let's see what De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs do to really gel him with the team and help him continue to play some winning basketball. Now, even though I talked about De'Aaron Fox up to this point, there is a certain situation with De'Aaron Fox coming to the San Antonio Spurs that is worth considering, and that is how the rotations is going to look like for the San Antonio Spurs. Because up to this point, especially before De'Aaron Fox got traded to the San Antonio Spurs, the main point guard for the San Antonio Spurs was Chris Paul. And while he is a really good player in his own right, we cannot ignore the fact that he's getting old. And with De'Aaron Fox coming to the San Antonio Spurs, there's a high chance that he's going to take over as the starting point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. Which brings me to the main problem, which is, what is Chris Paul going to do in this situation? Will he simply accept it and be that backup point guard and come off the bench, or is he going to cause some controversy? Because when you look at Chris Paul's career up to this point, whenever he came off the bench, he didn't seem as productive as he was if he was a starter. And that is a weird thing for me to think, but it is a possibility that is worth considering. Because if Chris Paul isn't as effective coming off the bench, I feel that that might really halt the San Antonio Spurs momentum as they continue in future seasons, because that very well could be the reason why they're not getting as much wins in future seasons, especially given the fact that the rest of the Western Conference is as stacked as it is and will continue to grow in future seasons to come. So that is something that San Antonio fans need to keep an eye out, especially in the second half of the season as well as future seasons, because the way that shapes out may definitely be an X factor as to what direction not only will the San Antonio Spurs go going forward, but also how the plays are going to be executed on a game-to-game basis. So yeah, that wraps up my thoughts on this trade being De'Aaron Fox coming to the San Antonio Spurs. And overall, I believe that this trade is a very interesting trade for the San Antonio Spurs. Not only because they're getting a very speedy point guard at the point guard position, but also there's a lot of things that I believe that De'Aaron Fox will be able to improve on and continue to mold about this game. And with a coach like Greg Popovich, who is a Hall of Famer coach, and everything he has alongside Victor Wembanyama too, who is a really good French basketball player at that, I believe that it's going to really be an interesting time for De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs. And who knows, if things go right, maybe they could make a lot of noise, especially in the future seasons as well. But we all need to see what the San Antonio Spurs are cooking up in the second half of the season and how their rotation is going to be. Because that rotation that they have for the second half of the season may very well decide how the future of the San Antonio Spurs is going to shape out. So, with all that being said, let me know in the comments below what you all thought about this trade. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you feel like getting De'Aaron Fox at this time is a little risky for the San Antonio Spurs? Or are you very optimistic on getting this player, because anything young and new is definitely good in your eyes? Let me know all of that in the comments below. And San Antonio fans, let me know your thoughts as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video where we talk more trades, more Raptors basketball, or more sports content in general. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video. And until then, Civ signing out.